Hello, 5th graders. Welcome to lesson 3.2, Compare Decimals. Let's get started. Our objective for today is I can compare decimals to the thousandth place by using place value with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Please pause and type the objective into your digital math notebook. Remember that we need the I can and the by, but we do not need the with statement. Pause and type that now. All right, 5th graders, let's get started. Remember that the I in the bottom of the screen means that you can put your pencil down for just a moment and listen to me. When talking about comparing decimals, we're going to be talking about whether a number is bigger or smaller. We have done this with whole numbers, and today we're going to apply it to decimals. An important thing about decimals is that we compare it to money. Money is a decimal that we see all the time. So if we think about decimals as money, it helps us be able to understand these numbers a little bit better. So thinking about money, if we look right here, this number is 5 and 618 thousandths. If we were to round this number, we could round it to 5.62, and we would say that is about $5.62. If we look at the second number, we have 5 and 601 thousandths. We would change that to 5.60. So now we can look at these two numbers and we can decide which one is bigger or smaller. So if we think about $5.60 or $5.62, we know that $5.62 is greater because 2 is greater than 0. In your digital math notebook, you have a slide that looks like this. Remember, wherever there is a red box, you need to compare the numbers. Here are some steps to help us compare numbers. Our first step says that we're going to line up the digits by place value and in a grid. So I'm going to take those two numbers that we just looked at and I'm going to write them underneath each other so that I can look at each digit. So here's my first number, 2, 4, 6, 9.13. And now I'm going to write the second number right underneath it, 2, 4, 6, 9.053. So there's our step 1. Step 2 says that if we need to add a 0 to any of our place values that don't have a place, then we can. So notice that this number doesn't have a 0 here, so we can add it if that helps us compare. Step number 3 says we're going to check our decimals, that they're all lined up, okay? And here's step number 4. Step number 4 says we're going to start with the number to the left and compare them. So we see a 2 and a 2, a 4 and a 4. So I'm going from left to right, a 6 and a 6, a 9 and a 9, a 1 and a 0, and this, it says circle the difference. So here is where I have a difference. And the step number 6 says star the greatest number. So our greatest number is this one. And then we'll write them with a less than or greater than symbol. So our first number is 2,4,6,9.13. And it goes this way. Our second number is 2,4,6,9.03. Here is another example. You will need to fill in the inequality signs, the less than or greater than signs, in your notebook as we complete these. So here is our number. We have 3.5 and 3.5. Well, in this case, we need an equal sign, right? Because they're the same number. In the next one, we have 3.5 and 3.52. Ooh, this can be kind of tricky. So if I put a 0 on this side, then I have 3.50. Well, I know that 52 is greater than 50, so my sign is going to go that way. In the next row, I have 3.58 and 3.5. Let's add a 0 again. Okay, so I have 3.58 and 3.50. 58 is bigger than 50. In our next column, we have 3.55 and 3.565. Okay, so remember, just because a number is longer off to the right of the decimals doesn't mean that it's bigger. If we look at 5, they're the same, but then we have 5 and 6. 6 is bigger than 5, so the alligator faces the bigger number. In our next example, we have 3.565 and 3.58. Again, I know that 6 is bigger than 8, so I'm underlining the place value where the digits are different. That tells me which way the alligator should face. And our last question has 3.52 and 3.565. So I'm looking at this 2 and I'm looking at this 6, and I know that 6 is greater than 2. If you need to pause to type in these numbers into your digital math notebook, go ahead and do so now. All right, 5th graders, it's time for our lesson activity. Remember that your lesson activity is in your digital math notebook, and you will need to type in the answers into the red boxes. On our lesson activity, we are going to underline the digit where the decimals are different in order to tell us which number is greater. So for our first example, we have 6.17 and 6.15. I notice that the 6's are the same and the 1's are the same, so I'm going to underline the 5 and the 7 because that is where the digits are different. Now I can ask myself which one of these numbers is bigger. I know that 7 is bigger than 5, so my alligator is going to face the 7. In the problem right underneath, we have 13.4 and 13.40. Remember, if we have a missing place value, we can add in a 0 so that we can compare them place value by place value. So we have a 1 and a 1, a 3 and a 3, a 4 and a 4, a 0 and a 0. So that means if all the digits are same, then my decimals are equal. You can go ahead and solve the next two problems on your own. Be prepared to show your answer to the teacher at the teacher table. You're almost finished, 5th graders. Make sure that you complete your exit slip before coming to the teacher table to show your understanding. Great job, 5th graders.